I bet he writes these sayings on the palm of his hand.
No, Raimundo. I write them inside my eyelids. That is why I blink so often.
Learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with but a single step. You do recall, Omi, that the oldest oak in the grove is by far the strongest, yes? Being a Shaolin dragon also means seeing the world in a different way. For example, finding simple solutions to complicated problems. You must drown out all distractions, quiet the storm of your mind. Only then will you achieve absolute focus. There are no lessons in victory, but 1,000 in defeat. Your goal, my young dragons in training, was to win, while mine was simply not to lose. That is victory enough for me. I'd say they learned one more lesson.
Never bet against Feng.
Up high,
Down low.
you must not dwell in the house of failure, young one, or you may never be able to leave it. You weren't defeated by your opponent, Raimundo. You were defeated by your lack of knowledge. Remember, a drop of knowledge is more powerful than a sea of force.
Doesn't do any good to close the barn door after the horses get
The
out.
Shaolin have always taught respect for the ways of the elders. You must learn that life is a river. It has ebbs and flows.
Still waters may blanket the greatest of unseen hazards. Overconfidence can be more dangerous than a lack of confidence. But strength is not determined by one's size, rather by the size of one's strength. Remember, the smaller assignments are often the more difficult ones. By pointing out each other's shortcomings, you help each other to improve and grow both individually and as a team. Your courage is admirable, dragons in training. Yet the bravest monk is not the one who fears nothing, but the one who is willing to face what he fears most. Realizing one's fears is the first step to facing them.
Master Feng says, what makes a warrior strong is not the weapon, but the warrior holding the weapon.
What does that mean?
Who knows? Just do what I do. Smile and nod.
Making a mistake is not a sign of weakness, Kimiko. It is not being able to admit it that is the true mistake.
It is not the strongest opponent who wins, but the strongest willed. When fighting an opponent with superior strength, you must use his strength against him.
Sometimes we must lose to win.
You must leave the land of despair and follow the road that will lead you to the lost Shengong Wu. Sometimes the way to find your enemy is to let him find you first. Working together is more than just fighting together. It is knowing how to use each other's strengths wisely. Be wary of first impressions, Raimundo. A warrior must first learn to control his patience before he can control himself. Only time will tell how your error in judgment will impact us all. Remain disciplined, learn from your mistakes, and make sure we get plenty of morning sun. The map of evil may have changed, but that does not mean there is no longer any threat. You may have beaten Chase Young once, but he was not defeated. To eat rotten egg rolls once is difficult. To eat them twice is another thing.
You should count your good fortune while it lasts.
It was better when Chase had the power. At least he did not go after the Wu.
Isn't that what evil is all about? A lie here, a little bad there. Suddenly it's so easy.
I get it. You want us to think like an outlaw so we can beat an outlaw.
Often when two warriors engage in battle, the battle brings them closer together. Now, as humble warriors, I suggest you shake hands and leave your troubles behind.
We face a common enemy. We must set aside good and evil for now. This moment won't last forever, except in this moment of time.
Be careful what you wish for.
Remember what Master Feng once said. The way to defeat Chase Young is to stop seeing him as the greatest warrior of all times.
Chase taught you your best moves. How can we beat someone like that?
By using different moves. I'm most pleased and most confused. You said only one of us would rise.
That is correct. Only one would rise, but not until you worked together as one. Things are not always what they appear to be. That is why you must remain cautious and learn to see with your minds, not just your eyes. You succeeded in your quest to find where you belong.
But I am back where I started.
That is right. This is your home.
Sometimes one must look closely to find what one is truly looking for.
There are other ways to see than just with your eyes. I use my mind to see rather than my eyes. Didn't you hear me before?
It is not the winning or the losing, but the journey itself. Patience, young monk. A house built on no foundation is a house surely to crumble.
Bobo has failed us because we have failed Bobo. When one of us fails, we all fail.
Nevertheless, sometimes the lesson is in the journey. The future can always be changed.
I don't know about you, but I think he makes this stuff up as he goes along.